What up, y'all? It's your boy, BlackPegasus, and I need your help. Yep, this is a call to action. Now, I think you will like this call to action, but before we get into that, I just found out about this today. I was literally at the gym, and rest in peace to Ozzy Osbourne. I just wanted to, give my condolences, prayers to the fam. I just really started to get into his solo career. Did some Black Sabbath reactions, still learning about, him as a rock and roll god, but it's unfortunate he has passed away. So, just want to put my thoughts and prayers out there with the family. I literally, this happened yesterday. I reacted to Shot in the Dark. And then, a month ago, I reacted to Dreamer, and I'm just about to release Dreamer. So it's interesting, my reaction to these videos before he actually passed away. So I just want to say RIP to him before I get this started. Now to the call to action, you guys, and why I need your guys' help. I need your guys' help because I'm starting a new series this Friday, July 25th, and it begins with a Rock and Roll Hall of Famer. I kept this under wraps for the most part. Some of the people in the membership know what's going on. Some of the people that watched my Ren video know what's up. But to the majority of the audience that haven't seen some of that stuff, I interviewed a Rock and Roll Hall of Famer. And in that interview, I also have a musical expert. And we're going to start a series called Inside the Reaction. And it's going to start this Friday, July 25th. And my call to action is I need you guys to show up for your boy. I need you to show up. Now, I was kind of thinking I wanted to wait to announce who I interviewed in this, in this interview and reaction. So this is what's cool about Inside the Reaction. I did a first-time reaction to a song that this Rock and Roll Hall of Famer co-wrote and co-produced. And then we also have an interview. Then there's a moment where he watches a reaction of me reacting to one of the biggest songs he's ever co-wrote and produced. And so it's like literally, a reaction inside a reaction. So we're going to deliver this to you on July 25th, which is this Friday. Now, I was kind of skeptical on just saying who it is and what's going on, but I decided right now and right here to let you guys know what's going on exactly. Da-da-da-da-da. Can we get a drum roll, please? So if you guys are ready for what's going on this Friday, I am about to let you know right now, but I'm going to pull it up on the screen so you can see for yourself. And this is how it's going down. We're dropping the first episode of the series this Friday with featured guest, the Rock and Roll Hall of Famer, Neil Giraldo. Yes, you probably know him from co-producing and co-writing a game for Pat Benatar, right? And we did a reaction, a real-time reaction to Hell is for Children, which he co-produced and co-wrote with Pat Benatar. I did a reaction, a first-time reaction to it. And then once the reaction's done, he gets to explain, all these cool things. I don't want to go too crazy because I don't want to spoiler alert it. Now, we also were joined by Tim Somer. He literally signed Hootie and the Blowfish, helped shape the early careers of the Beastie Boys. He is a musical expert, and he has a lot more accolades. I'm just, letting you guys know that Tim was there to help kind of guide the interview in certain pockets where I don't have the expertise as a musician or a rock guy. Like, I'm literally just learning about a bunch of rock music in real time on this channel. So this was an honor to be joined by Tim and then the Rock and Roll Hall of Famer, Neil Giraldo. So I'm just here to tell you guys the series is going to launch this Friday. I almost said Thursday. This Friday, July 25th, and it's going to be 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. We're going to release my reaction to Hell is for Children and my interaction with Tim and Neil. This is going to be a 4-episode thing. So you're going to get, we're going to cut the interview into 2s, and then there's 2 reactions, right? So I don't want to say what the next reaction, but it will be Neil reacting to something that I reacted, kind of watching the reactions, things I said, and kind of breaking those things down. But this was done with them. Okay, this reaction and conversation was done with Tim and Neil, and the whole first series, the whole first series is done with Tim and Neil Giraldo. So I'm really excited to announce that. But now I need your help. I need you, if you rock with the channel, show up, share it, tell people. Like, if you know anyone else who's rocking with the channel, like, We need to get as many eyeballs on this as possible because, this is an important, like, dude, it's just an honor to be able to speak with these brothers. I remember in the interview, there's like these prolific moments that Neil explained to me, and I don't want to give it all out. I want to leave it for the actual interview when you guys see it. But the way he sees music is very unique. A lot of times we'll get these producers and they'll talk about they see it in colors. Neil doesn't. He sees it in a totally different way. Also, there was a prolific moment where he talked about what music videos have done to the music industry. And I was like, bruh, and we had a little candor about that. And of course, Tim is just excellent. He knows so much about Neil's career and just music in general. He knows when to spring in and bring the right questions and stuff like that. So I only take the time to do a separate video like this to promote something like this because I believe it's important and I would love for you guys to show up. Now, we have a lot of fun on this channel. I think sometimes my ignorance of the music makes this fun. I'm a dude who's rough around the edges from the other side of the track. I get it. I'm getting exposed to stuff for the first time, but I really put a lot into this interview. And I don't want to say let people down. I guess I didn't want to let myself down. I wanted to make sure that, you guys know the respect is mutual, right? Like I'm a rap guy. I'm a hip hop guy. That's my thing. I've been rapping my whole life, touring. I've toured more of my life than than anything. So to be able to connect with real musicians and experts in the space that I'm learning about, I appreciate it and I respect it. This is also me being humble, and I don't play an instrument. I use my vocals, my lyrics as my instrument. Coming from where I came from, that was the potent thing for me to do. However, I really do appreciate and respect, the musician, the instrumentation. And as I'm listening to more stuff on this channel, I start to appreciate it more and maybe understand it a little bit more. I don't know if that's like, I am like a really dedicated martial artist. And if I dedicated, some time to maybe picking up a guitar or learning the piano or something, I'd probably have a little more knowledge there. And maybe that'll happen. You never know. So I want to continue. Okay, I'm going on a rant now. So if you ain't hear from me, just go on. The key is July 25th, this Friday, we rocking with Neil and Tim, and it's going down. So look for the video. Please help share it and get the word out. This is a new series, Inside the Reaction, that I'd like to do on the channel. And shout out to the whole team behind this. And we gonna get it cracking. Anyways, now back to me. So I've been somewhat of a lifelong martial artist, and I want to continue that, right? I really enjoy it. I really like, as I'm getting to the age I'm at, getting to help, coach like the kids' classes and coach my daughter and stuff like that. It's really fun. But the two things that I would like to do in my lifetime, the rest of my life, because I'm 45, man. They say I'm in my midlife crisis. I would like to learn an instrument. I'd like to pick up an instrument. I'd like to go ahead and just learn Spanish, man. I'm half freaking Mexican, dog. Like, what am I doing with my life? I'm black and Mexican. And I don't know Spanish. Crazy, dog. So those are things that I definitely have. I'm trying to get to the bag and get to the next level of life, get some financial freedoms going on. But essentially, those are things that I look at. And doing this channel, honestly, the craziest question for me is piano, drums, or guitar. Which one do I try? Because, like, I don't yearn to jump on the piano for some reason. I yearn to try to rock with the guitar or drums. I just naturally kind of gravitate to the concept of drums and percussion, But I feel like piano is such a good bass. So I don't know. Maybe you guys want to tap it in the comments with that. But anyways, your boy been working. I don't think people understand how much I work behind the scenes. I have recently seen some people getting upset because of our membership on the channel, getting upset because it's like a paywall. But I always tell people everything from the membership will get released publicly eventually, so you don't have to trip. And the reason that's there is because the way YouTube works with copyright claims, it's really tough to have a channel that does a lot of reactions and, be able to put the time and energy I put into that, right? Because if you can't make anything off it in the slightest form, then I can't do it, you know, because I have a family. My family comes first. But the way I've structured my YouTube channel has allowed me to be able to approach this like a full-time job. And I hope you guys see that with the time and energy that I put in. I'm dropping 3 videos a day. There's 3 in the membership, 3 to 2 typically, you know, and then doing side projects like this, getting big interviews. Like I really actually do work very hard because I want YouTube to be the next chapter of my life and career. So I put in the extra time and effort for that. And even sometimes I don't get compensated for it, but it's still, I see the big picture. And then sometimes I do, and things are looking lovely. You know, it goes back and forth. So I just want to, you know, tell you guys we're starting a new series. I hope to do a few more of these and just, you know, just give you guys a little something more than a reaction video, right? This is a reaction, but the thing you guys always want and yearn for is the dialogue. In the comments, you guys reach out to me and tell me these things you know or you've learned, or even you heard from the professor of rock, and you add to my stable of information that I'm learning about a lot of these legends. Well, now, not only do you get to see a reaction with me, you get to hear the person who co-wrote and co-produced it give you the insights from his lips, from his mouth, and get all of that in one. And I think it's going to be a joyous experience. I hope you guys enjoy what we put together, and I'll see you this Friday, July 25th, Inside the Reaction with Tim Sommer and Neil Giraldo, the Rock and Roll Hall of Famer himself. And sheesh, man, God is good, y'all. Anyways, I'll talk to you guys on the next one. Appreciate you. That's all. I don't really do PSAs. That's what, public service announcements. Yeah, PSAs. I don't really do that though. I was thinking PSA and I was like, man, that's a prostate check, man. God dang, man. I got a PSA this year. Ah!